was only until I realized, like, not only can I not, like, go anywhere,
Right.
I can't do anything, like, I'm stuck it wasn't like when we apparently both got COVID. It's like when we were quarantined here,
Right.
it was like, it was boring, but at the same time we were still able to, like, at least do stuff and
Right.
like, you know, be here, be physical. So like, we were able to do what we wanted still, but I can't do shit, or I couldn't really do anything.
Right.
And that was the only time where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start playing my N64. I'm gonna start just playing like games that I want to play, that I've been wanting to play. That's the whole point. I bought them. And then I realized I couldn't plug it in because I couldn't lean forward.
I know. I remember getting home and you asking me, like, "Hey, Noel."
You sound like that?
That's how you always sound to me. Can you do me a favor, Noel? That's how you always sound to me.
Yeah, I guess so.
All
That
right.
makes sense. Yeah, it's been pretty fun. For anyone that doesn't know, I have one of the spookiest things ever happened. It was, I think, the beginning of October. What's the date today?
I don't know. It's like the 6th, 7th, 8th.
I don't know. Check the date.
Okay.
It was
5th.
Okay. So it was the very beginning of October. Very beginning of spooky season, right? Right?
Right, man.
Spookiest thing ever. So for anyone that doesn't know, the long story, the abridged version is I had like some bladder issues, and when I'd go pee, it would just be weird when I tried to, not weird, but like
a weird pee.
Yeah.
Like green.
Yeah. It was just like I just had issues peeing, so I had to go see urologists, all this stuff, blah blah blah. Eventually, I went to go see a urologist on Tuesday, so that was a week ago. So today is the 5th. You said. It was not. It was not spooky season then. It was September 29th. But very close. It kicked off spooky. It was the scariest.
It was the cliff dive into spooky season.
That was the scariest part. I was like, spooky season's around the corner. It was closer than I thought. Spookiest thing ever. So I'd gone to the urologist, talked to him, and I had like an appointment to actually go see them, and I talked to him. I had to do like these tests, and they scanned my bladder, a bunch of different stuff, and there was like a doctor, like a student doctor, who was talking to me and like asking me questions, and then she's like, "Well, what we're probably gonna do is maybe like in a week, we're gonna get a camera and insert it into your urethra, and check to see if there's any blockage all the way up to your bladder.
Right.
See if there's anything there." So I was like, okay, that sounds awful, but you know, whatever. That'll be like sometime in the future. And then I see the doctor, whatever. They do more tests, and then the doctor comes back and he's like, okay, so we're gonna put the camera into your urethra today. And I'm like, okay, like, sure, let's do it. So then I have to get into I go into the room, because they're like, we're waiting for like a room to clear out. I think it's like a hospital bed. Like, that's what I have in my mind.
Right.
Like a hospital bed, like a full hospital bed. Because, like, you know when you go see a doctor, they put you in like one of the little clinic rooms.
Right.
Where it's just like a regular doctor bed, like porn set.
It's like a cubicle almost. Like it could be like set up with just like foldable walls if they had to.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like a little thing and then like a little whatever.
Right.
But I thought it was going to be like an actual hospital bed. Like a full setup. And it was not. It was like a gynecology chair.
When you put your legs up?
Yeah, like I had to get, the thing is too, like they're like, here, put this gown on and everything. I'm like, okay, so I'm just wearing my t-shirt and I have a little gown on that's open in the back, and then they're like, just get onto the seat. So I get on, and it's a seat that's like like slanted,
Right.
and then it has two little like leg holders. So you put your legs in, and your legs are kind of like like this.
Yeah.
And then I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, okay, this is like weird, but I'm it's already kind of like having had doctors check my prostate. 2 doctors check my prostate.
At the same time?
No.
Oh.
One was checking the back of my throat, and then the other one was checking my prostate. I thought that was weird too,
Yeah.
but he's like, let's see how many fingers we could get in here. Anyway. When I went to go see the doctor, I had to go through the ER.
Oh.
So the doctors, it was like, I already knew there was something wrong with my bladder or like
Right.
some,
There was like
junk.
preliminary or whatever
Yeah,
it's called.
it was just like stuff that I had to do.
Mm.
So, that was like, I went to the ER, and I already knew I had to see a urologist, but they're like, well, you have to see a doctor, and he has to refer you to a urologist. So one of the things that he was like, we have to rule out if it's your prostate or not, so we're going to have to check your prostate. I'm like, okay, whatever. And that was him. Like, I had in my mind what a prostate exam was, and I didn't really know, but in my mind, it was, like, having to, like, lean over the bed, and then him checking, and like, that's it. It's not like that. It's not like you're gonna get butt fucked by a doctor.
It's more of a punch in the asshole.
Yeah, it's more punching the asshole.
Sorry.
It's more that you get on your side.
Right.
And then he like punches your asshole.
Oh my
But
God.
The thing is, I was like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna lay on my. He had like this hot doctor and like another doctor, I guess a doctor in training or someone who
Was she
came
just
in.
taking notes?
She was like, I didn't know why she was there.
Oh.
But because he was like my doctor the whole time, but she came in and she's like, "Oh, I'm also here hanging out, I guess." And so I went on my side, like kind of like in the fetal position, which
Right.
is pretty fitting. And I was like, "Okay, this is just weird. Like he's gonna stick his finger in there. It's gonna feel weird, and like that's it." And then I felt them like move the sheet, and then I felt him open my cheeks, like I'm sideways, and he like goes like that, and like peels them open. And then I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And he's like, you see that? That's the anal wall. And she's like, oh yeah, I see it. And I'm like, bro, they're both looking at my asshole. And
Check
like,
this out. And he starts unbuckling his
yeah.
pants.
He's like, you want to see my... Like, they're like, he was like talking very low, and there was like sheets. Cut like, it
Yeah.
was like the fucking wartime bedrooms. Like, I don't know. Anyway, he checked my prostate. Then she checked my prostate. And I felt, that was the first time I've ever got my prostate checked. And I felt it, and I felt that she had long nails. And I was like, oh man, I could feel it in my butthole. And then he's like, can you feel it? And, like, are you feeling it now? And then she's like, yeah, I could feel the prostate. It feels normal. And she like removed her finger, and I was like, okay. That wasn't that bad. Like, it felt weird, but whatever. And then he was like, now it's daddy's turn. Ah! And went
Jesus
deep,
Christ.
like so deep that it felt like it was gonna pop out of my penis, like just all the way through, and that he would be wearing my foreskin.
All right, cool.
Anyway, that was the first doctor. Then I found out he wasn't a doctor. But when I went through all that, after that, that's when I went to see the actual urology area. So anyway, I'm at urology, and I have my legs up. And like I said, I'm like, I've already had like my dick examined and by a bunch of different doctors.
Right.
So I'm like not that shy anymore. Not shy about being naked anyway, but it's different circumstances.
A little bit, yeah.
So I put my legs up, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then they sit in front of me, and then they spread my legs completely. I thought they were already open enough, and they spread them. I'm like, whoa, baby, this is getting intense. Also, the entire time, it's like cold in the hospital.
Yeah.
It wasn't that cold, but it looked that cold. It was scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it gets scared, and it gets like...
It's like when you take a dog to the vet, and they know they're going to the vet.
Yeah, it gets... That's exactly what happened to my penis. It was very docile. So they're like, okay, well, we're gonna get. They got my dick, and then they're like, we're gonna put lidocaine inside of it to numb it, to help, like, so it's not that uncomfortable. Okay. So I feel like it's like one of those big plastic syringes.
Oh.
And, I think that's what it is, because I felt something go into my tip and then it filled it.
When I heard lidocaine, I assumed they were having to just like they had like a jar of it and they were scooping it out with like a Q-tip and they had to fucking rub you down with like a Q-tip.
No, they injected it into my.
That's so much worse.
Yeah, the thing is, it wasn't like what it felt like. It felt like maybe like the tip of like a like Neosporin.
Okay.
Like that, like a little like tip like that.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like go in, and then I just felt liquid, and it felt like I was peeing, because I guess they filled it and then it just kind of dumped out.
Right.
Or I don't know what happened. I wasn't looking. Well, let me see. I just had my head back, and the thing is, while I was laying down, there's a monitor in front of, like above me,
Yeah.
that they can see, so they're looking up at that one, and there's a monitor to my right that I can see that's facing me.
Okay.
And right now I just see flickering, like, because they have the camera on,
Right.
but it's like super tiny, so that it doesn't show anything.
Right.
So I just feel it. I'm like, ugh, and I feel like I'm peeing, and they're like, okay, we're gonna put the camera in. So they do it, and I feel it go in, and it just feels weird. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't feel like pressure, because it's like way smaller than.
Just like foreign.
Yeah, it just feels like a weird little tickle inside, and just like, yeah, it's not like a good feeling. But it was like significant. It felt significantly smaller than my urethra, so it didn't feel like it pressure. It didn't feel like it was pushing up against anything, but I could feel it wiggling,
bumping
inside.
around.
Yeah, and everything was like numbed down, but I could still feel it.
Right. I'm assuming if it wasn't numbed down, you'd be in pain.
Yeah.
So just like with the whole lidocaine, it just felt like I said, things are bumping around in there.
Yeah, going bump in the night, like some spooky stuff.
Is that what you call your dick, the night?
Anyway, yeah. Yeah, but with a K.
Oh.
The night. So I look up and I see the monitor, and it's showing the inside of my urethra.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, it looks like it just looks like, I don't know, like organ kind of looking thing. So it goes through, and then they see that it kind of goes like that, and it tapers into like a little hole.
Okay.
And then they're like, that's what's causing it. You have scar tissue inside your urethra. And they asked me, like, did you ever hit yourself when you were a kid? Like, were you riding a bike and landed really hard and maybe ripped something? And I was like, I don't know. I can't think of anything. Yeah, like, substantial enough for it to be, like, to cause scar tissue inside my urethra. And I'm like, I don't know. I can't think of anything, like...
Would that cause you to pee blood? Have you ever peed blood?
No, that's the thing, too. Like, I've never peed blood. I would assume that I would pee blood, or I would have had peed blood.
Yeah.
But I've never, like, not that I can remember, I've never done that. So I was like, I don't know what it is. They're like, whatever, that's what it is. It's what's causing it. So he's like, well, we're going to do, you have, like, a few options. You have option A and option B. And after he explained everything to me, it was basically like, if you can do option A now, or you can do option A, or you can do option B, and that'll be it. Like, option B is this, or you can try option A, and if it doesn't work, you end up with option B anyway.
Right.
So it was kind of like, why not just do it? Because option B was basically like, get surgery, get a bunch of other procedures done. He's like, but you could try this thing, option A, and if it works, you don't have to do the other things.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, yeah, like, I may as well just do that.
Yeah. Why not try to avoid surgery if you can?
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, well, basically what it would be is we would dilate your urethra. So what we would do, because they took x-rays of my, like, I had to kind of turn sideways, and they had, like, from my tip all the way up to my bladder, and you could see where it, like, tapers.
Right.
And it gets small, and then it opens back up. And they're like, what we would do is essentially dilate your urethra to make it the same uniform size all the way through. And, you know, kind of, we would do that, put a catheter inside of you, and then just like, see what happens. Like,
Right.
see if it
Cross
gets better.
fingers.
Yeah. Like, if the scar tissue returns or if it stays like that, like, then you're good.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, like, what is it? Like, what do you do? Like, what does that mean? I've never had, I don't remember the last time I got my urethra dilated, so what happens? And he goes, well, basically what we would do, this is the word that he uses, wires. He was like, we would insert progressively thicker and thicker wires into
Why is this such a more violent word?
Yeah,
too?
right? Like, that was why I was like, ooh, wires, bro. So, we're going to insert wires into your urethra that get progressively bigger in order to stretch out the scarring that's in your urethra. And I was like, okay. Sick. That sounds so dope. And so he's like, yeah, it's it's pretty uncomfortable. And I'm like, okay, well, how does it feel compared to like the camera that I had in? And he's like, it is significantly more uncomfortable and significantly more painful than the camera, because the camera only like kind of bounces around.
Right.
This is stretching out the inside of your, like, scar tissue inside of your urethra.
Yeah.
Like far back where you can't touch.
Right.
Like, it's inside. It's just like where my dick ends and like where my body is, and it's like in here.
Yeah.
So it's like
the top of the scrot.
Yeah, it's like in there. So I'm like, okay, well, do I get anything, or like do I get painkillers or anything like that? And he's like, if you come back in a week, then we'll get you a bed, put you under, and then we'll do it, and you'll wake up and you'll have a catheter in you, and you'll have to just deal with the catheter for a week, and then you remove it, and that's it. And I'm like, okay, like, we'll probably do that. And he's like, but if you do that, you run the risk of your bladder building up urine and backing up into your kidneys, which is way worse, and it's another issue now.
Right.
So he's like, so you're going to have to learn how to self-catheterize, which is basically sticking a long tube up your urethra and into your bladder to force yourself to pee. And I'm like, why? Okay, and he's like, you could do it today, though. You would just not get any painkillers, and you would have to be wide awake. So you would have nothing to, like...
You just have to fight through it, deal with it.
Yeah, and I was like, is that legal? Like is this allowed?
It's like, no.
Yeah.
If you want to, though, but you can't do it.
Yeah, but keep it low-key, and, we'll get some shit done, bro. So I was like, asking him, like, well, is it, like, obviously it's painful because you put someone under normally.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, some people can tolerate it, some people can deal with the pain, and some people can't. He's like, if it gets to be too much, you can tell us and we'll stop, and then we'll reschedule to go and get you a bed if you decide to do it today. And I'm like, okay, let's just do it today, because I don't want to have to self-catheterize every single day, and I already knew I wasn't going to do that, because fuck that bullshit. So I'm like, okay, let's just do it. And the doctor was like, fuck yeah. That's
cool.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's fuck this fool up.
Really? Fuck, yeah, that's crazy.
I just made that shit up right now. Like, okay, let's do it. So he's like, okay, we're going to get started. And he's like, this is the first one going in. So they insert the first wire. The whole time I'm not looking at the monitor either. The whole time I'm just like, Ave Maria.
Cool.
Ah! So I'm laying there and I feel the first one. I feel the first
Scream really got me right now.
Like, there's people lined up outside. They're like, I don't think I can do this. And they run out. So he starts and I feel the first one go in. And it's not that bad. It like stings a little bit.
Definitely uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then they remove it and he's like, okay, this one's a little bigger. And it goes, and the thing is, they're taking x-rays as they're stretching it.
Right.
So I would essentially feel where the scarring is.
Right.
I would feel it touch, and then he would say, I think, spot.
Okay.
And then that meant to, like, that signal. It was signaling the guy to take the picture with the x-ray. And he would say spot right as he was stretching it.
Right.
So it's like, as soon as I would hear that, I'm like, and I would feel it touch where the scar tissue is, and then go
Right.
and stretch it.
Fuck.
And if anyone's ever stretched their ears, it's like that, but inside your pecker.
Epic.
or your girl pecker. It was they went through. I don't even remember. I couldn't even keep count. Like I was because there's like.
The amount of wires.
Yeah, yeah. So I could have kept count the whole time. I had my fingers because I had to keep my hands kind of like on my chest because they're taking pictures of my groin.
Right.
So the whole time I'm like digging my fingers into my ribs and like into my side because it's like it hurts.
Yeah.
And because I'm like distracting myself. It's like, I mean, I would guess it's like getting a tattoo or like if you're ever in pain, you do something to like pinch yourself somewhere else to kind of stimulate.
I bite the inside of my cheek.
Yeah, like it's like that. So I was like digging my fingers into my ribs to like draw like my mind like, oh man, your ribs are getting cracked too while your dick's getting split open.
Your brain's like, damn, you're really fucking yourself up today.
Yeah, like I have my eyes closed and my brain's like, what is going on? What are you doing to us, bro? Yeah, this fool. Like I kept feeling it stretch and stretch. They'd stretch it and then leave it for like a minute or two.
Right.
Or like 4 hours, it felt like. And then they'd remove it and I'm like, oh my god. And they're like, all right, here's another one. Bing, 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 bing. And then they kept doing it and I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. But now I realize, like, I'm already starting it, and I can't do it because I can't stop because I'm not coming back to do it again.
Right.
So I already know how shitty it feels, and also, women give birth to babies. This is not that bad. That was one thing too where I'm like, oh my god, like women will push out. I don't know if you've seen how big a baby head is. Pretty big.
Or a baby in general?
Like any baby?
Any baby.
Even the smallest baby?
Even premature babies are like, damn, that's crazy.
That's like a baby. Like coming out. So that's why I was like, you know what? This sucks. It does hurt. Even like telling any girls or telling a woman who's had a child, like it's still like, yeah, that sucks. Like, because it's not like, well, I had a baby. It's like, yeah, that sucks. Like, it's like stubbing your toe. You're like, oh, I stubbed my toe. Someone's like, I got one of my toes cut off. Like, I'm not trying to one up you, dog. Like, it's just, it hurts,
Sounds
right?
like a challenge, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I only got 9 toes, but that's why it was shitty. But like, I know it could have been like excruciatingly worse. But I got through it. I finished it. He's like, okay, that was the last one. And I'm like sweating, and my ribs are bruised already. Like, oh my god, okay, it's
like, can you guys leave the room for like a minute, please?
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my god, okay, I think it's fucking done. He's like, okay, now we're gonna insert the catheter.
Oh
and then
shit!
I felt the catheter go all the way through. I'm like, ah! And it came all the way up. It went out. It came out of the top of my mouth.
Oh no!
And they're like, okay, wait. People.
And then you woke up.
Yeah, like, and then you're like, hey, you blacked out, bud. All right, put the next wire in.
Yeah.
So they put the catheter in, so I felt that go all the way past the scar tissue, all the way into my bladder.
Right.
And then the doctors, I heard all their gloves come off. They're like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. And they left. And I was just in there with the little Mexican nurse that barely spoke English. I'm like, And then I had to get up and, like, get myself out of bed. And once I stood up, and I had the catheter in me, and then I had the bag attached.
Right.
And I started to pee, but I was peeing the way I would normally pee.
Right.
Which, when you pee, your bladder squeezes and like everything constricts.
Right.
So your urethra and everything is like, it gets tight and it kind of is trying to get rid of everything. So now I have the catheter all the way up in my bladder, all the way down to my tip, and now I have this fresh scar tissue. So now my bladder's squeezing around the catheter, and all my muscles are squeezing around the new scar tissue and the catheter. It's like, again, if anyone's ever had stretched ears, it's like stretching your ears out way past where they're supposed to, and then just pulling on them and just going like this. And yeah, it was awesome. So I peed, and I'm like in like standing in pain, like unable to move, and it stops. And I'm like, oh my god, I almost passed out. I'm glad that was over. And I took 2 steps, and I felt myself pee again, and I'm like, Oh my god.
So this could be a long weekend.
Yeah. And she's like, you could go in there and change. I'm like, can you hold on for like a minute, dude? And like I walked over and I had to like try to like lean forward, and every time I leaned forward, I would feel like what this is like in my head. This is what it felt like. It felt like my bladder, like this, like a little balloon or something, and it felt like inside the catheter was like a plastic straw, like scraping against my bladder. Every time I would lean forward, so it just felt like it's like this, and I'd go like that and go.
Epic, man. That was on a chalkboard, huh?
Anyway, so I got through all that, and then
It's a leaf. It's good luck.
so I got through all that, and then I walked out, talked to the doctors, and they're like, yeah, like we'll come back in a week and take it out and see what happens. And it's like, do you guys say that? Like, shouldn't you have a plan? But he's like, I don't know.
Playing this by ear.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it just seemed kind of weird to do. And then I got off, and my parents were there. Like, they showed up. And my mom's like, do you need, like, what happened? I explained it to her, and she's like, do you need one of us to drive? Like, I don't want you to drive home if you're, like, all drugged up or anything. And I was like, they didn't give me anything. I'm going to drive myself home. I'm going to drive 10 miles an hour all the way home from Long Beach. And yeah, I drove myself home after, and it also took me like it took me 5 minutes to walk from my car to the hospital entrance.
Yeah.
It took me 15 minutes to walk from the entrance to my car afterward, because I was hobbling, and I could just feel the catheter like wiggling inside, and it was great. And yeah, that was Tuesday, and tomorrow's Tuesday now, and I get it out tomorrow.
Get it ripped out of you.
Yeah. So I have that to look forward to, but that's also why I can't sit down too great. But my catheter. Look at that.
Yeah, have you been peeing this whole time?
I have, just like silently. Like it's weird. Like I'll hug someone or be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And I hug them, and I just feel it come out, and I'm like, they have no idea.
They have no idea.
I'm peeing right now. Or like, well, yeah, like yesterday, everyone came to hang out, and like everyone's sitting here and just talking, and someone's like talking to me, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like this and that," and I'm like, and I just feel it peeing. And then it fills up, and it feels weird. It feels just fucking crazy.
Keep you warm, though.
It does keep me warm. If I drink, like a lot of water and it just starts kind of going through me, I'll feel it be, like, it'll feel just hot against my leg and, like, create... Like, my leg will get hot because it's, like, not necessarily always pressing up against it.
Right.
It's kind of like this, so it's just creating this little heat.
Sick.
So, yeah,
some bacon in there.
Yeah. So it's definitely been a hell of a week. I haven't done anything.
You played Mystical Ninja.
I played the fucking... That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Like that's all I've been doing is like playing my N64 and watching YouTube videos. I can't do any... When I wake up in the morning, with like most guys, you wake up at some point with a boner, or you get a boner after you wake up. And I'll wake up in pain. I actually had a dream, and like I don't remember what happened, but it was like it was one of those things where I remember it as it was happening, and I woke up and remembered, and then it went away, and I just had a boner, and I was like, whoa, this is awful. It wasn't a full boner, but put it this way, like,
it was enough to call it a boner.
It was definitely not. It was.
Oh wow!
It was growing, but it started to, because like, it started instead of like the way you would normally get a boner, your dick's flaccid, and then it would start to kind of like grow out, and then up.
Like
that. At least for me. So, with the catheter in it, it's like that. So it starts to like grow grow a little bit, and then as it starts to try to lift off, to take off. That's when the catheter starts pulling back on it. And then it's
the catheter's like, hold steady.
Yeah. Oh, he's like Spider-Man in front of the subway, just holding.
That's wild, man. I'm super sorry you have to deal with that. It sucks.
Yeah, so I get it out tomorrow, and it's been crazy, but I'm really looking forward to jerking off.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, the thing is too, I'm also nervous about, like, I need to ask the doctor kind of just, like how long before I can, because, like, I like to drink, or, should I watch my diet? Like, I'm not going to be like, well, when can I get a beer?
Yeah.
He's probably not going to be cool with that.
Right.
But
he's like, you should just stop, honestly.
Yeah, you drink, like, every day, so. No, like, that's all I want to ask him, like, if I want to drink,
right,
when would it be, like, a good enough time? Should I wait a couple days, a week, a month? And then what about, like, any sort of, like, sexual activity? Want to crank? I might crank. If you say I'm cool right now, I'll go crank one out in my car in 90-degree heat, bro. It's been a week, dog. Week, dog.
Blast a hole through your ceiling.
Yeah. So, I need to ask him about that, but I guess the thing is, if he's like, you're gonna have to wait, like, maybe like another week before you can do it.
Yeah. You're not doing that.
I don't know.
I don't think you are.
Because the thing is, I'm gonna wake up one morning and it's gonna be like, hey, bud.
Good morning.
I'm
pain?
feeling so I'm feeling so strong and sexy right now, and I'm like, please don't. Please. And he's like, ooh, I just wish someone would throttle me right now.
I don't like that you're calling it he.
Well, it's a dick. The sexual tension between me.
I know. There's really gay tension between you and your dick.
You have no idea.
That's good, man. I'm happy for you. I had recently went to go talk to a guy about a motorcycle. I wanted to buy a motorcycle. I really wanted to buy a motorcycle. And he was like, bro, you come by, I'll let you do it in payments. I was like, all right, let's see what's up. And I've never met this guy before. It was a friend of a friend. And my friend was like, he's super cool. Don't worry. I want to preface this by saying, like, he's a really nice dude.
The guy that you know?
No, the guy that I met.
Okay.
Because he's also a psychopath.
Okay.
Because I went to go meet him, and he lives in Riverside, and he lives in a kind of like makeshift trailer park, where it wasn't a trailer park, it was like a piece of property in the middle of a residential area that was all dirt with 6 trailers inside the property. And I met my friend there, and we walked inside, and we stood at the nearest trailer, and we're like waiting for him to get there. And he pulls in on his motorcycle, and he's pulling in. He's like, he drives a 2007 Triumph Bonneville, like a big ass, like a 1600 motorcycle, big motherfucker. And he pulls in, and he's going like on the bike with like his arms touched down. He has the ape hanger handlebars, and he's going like that. And he goes behind his trailer, and he comes out of behind his trailer, and he's taking off his like helmet and his mask and his gloves and everything. He goes, hey, what's up, guys? Come here. And I'm like, come here. My friend goes, hey, I forgot his name already. Like, he goes,
Melvin.
hey, Melvin. Melvin?
Did you say mailman?
Mailman. His name's Mailman. And my friend goes, hey, this is Noel. This is the guy I was telling you about that wants to look at the motorcycle you have for sale. And he goes, I've been dying to meet you, man. And I'm thinking, like, I heard about him yesterday. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, I've been fucking dying to meet you.
I'm Melman. Come here.
So, he pulls me over, and he introduces himself. He shows me his bike, and his bike's super cool. He goes, I have the bike that I want to show you at a storage down the street. Let's go there, and then I'll show you the bike, and I'll tell you what's up with it, and show you what's up. And I go, yeah, no, that's cool. I'll drive my car and I'll follow you. He goes, can I go in your car? It sucks driving on a motorcycle right now. It's super fucking hot. I go, I guess.
I guess now that you've asked me that really leading question and put me in a position where I can't say no, sure.
So he takes, I take him to his storage.
Cool.
And we go to the storage unit and he pulls it out. It's a nice, really nice bike. And he's very enthusiastic. Extreme, like to the point where it's very strange how enthusiastic he is about talking about motorcycles.
Look.
Yeah.
Look at it, look
like,
at it.
I wasn't joking. He was like, come here.
Come here, look. Hurry.
So he's showing me the bike and he'll interrupt himself to talk about his riding styles. And it's normal, relatively.
I thought you were going to say like he's interrupting himself. Like he's like, it's got this, it's got these kind of... Stop! And then you got this over here, you're like, what the fuck?
It felt like that for a minute. Because he was telling me about the tank on the bike. Because when he first got the bike, he had to ride it and get it started. So he didn't have the tank attached. He had a 2-liter bottle of soda upside down taped to a spigot, basically, that goes to the fucking... I don't know, something. And to get the car run, or to get the bike running. And he was telling me about that, and he goes, I don't ride a motorcycle with no brakes. I go, say that one more time. He goes, on my bike, I don't have any brakes. I'm not saying you should take the brakes off. He goes, but I don't have a motorcycle. I go, how do you stop? He goes, I just downshift like crazy, and I just spin around so that the tire is braking constantly when I'm downshifting. I go, that's psycho, dude.
You're like, that sounds like you should just have brakes. Like, it sounds like you're putting more effort into it than what brakes could just be.
And he's saying that, like, he keeps saying that as he's showing me the bike. Like, he's telling me, like, I don't have brakes on my bike. Like, he's trying to convince me to not have brakes on my bike.
He's like, man, having not brakes is the best fucking thing, man. You know what one of my favorite things is? Not having brakes. And you're like, I get it. You don't get it.
He preferenced it, like, at the last time he says that by going, I'm not saying it's for everyone. I lost my leg. And he pulls up his shorts and he has a prosthetic leg. And I was like,
you're really selling on not having brakes, man.
He goes, I just want you to be safe, but I'm telling you that, like, you could not have brakes too. I go, I'm going to have brakes.
Like, I don't understand how him being like, if you have brakes, you might also still lose your leg anyway. So just get not brakes. Yeah. I think he's making a pretty decent case.
For the brakes?
I don't know, prosthetic leg could be cool.
No, I can't. I don't think any well, maybe if it's robot leg, but it wasn't a robot leg. He pulled his pants up and it looked like a log connected to a foot. Like, it wasn't cool. Like, it was edged out. Like, it had, like...
It looked like a cartoon pirate where it's just like a little, like...
Kind of, yeah. It was like, if you combine the technology of modern time prosthetics and the technology of peg legs, it would look like that.
You know what that sounds like? A peg leg.
Yeah. A peg leg with a foot at the bottom.
Yeah.
So that guy was fucking crazy. And it was to the point where... Because my friend told me about him. And he was like, he'll let you do payments. It's only going to be like $800, the bike. It's not like in perfect condition. It has a lot of stuff you have to work on. It does start though. The engine's great. All you have to do is like rebuild the carburetor. They go, that's easy.
Yeah.
But I get over there and he shows you the bike and he goes, all right, so this is how it's going to go. I go, okay, well, so how do you want to do this? And he goes, I'm thinking $1,200. I go, whoa.
You're like, that's already way high.
He goes, I'm thinking $1,200 and you could pay me weekly any amount. I go, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
$4 million. You take it home today and you pay me anything you want whenever. And you're like,
he goes, you just have to tell me how much you're going to pay me that week and make sure you give me that payment. And he starts pushing that point across to me every time he mentions like what the payment arrangement is going to be, to the point where it almost became threatening, where he's like, you just have to make sure you pay me. Like, you have to make sure you give me a payment on the week because I like you, and I want to trust you, and it sounded
he,
like
this close to you.
he wasn't. He was like the bike is like right here, and it's like 5.5 feet across, and he's standing at the front of the bike, and I'm standing at the back of the bike, and he's doing this across the bike.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the whole conversation he has. I go, you know what, man? I came here to look at the bike. I wasn't, because he's talking like, all right, this is how we're gonna do it now. Like, you have to give me some money right now so I can give you this bike. And I go, look, man, I don't mean to like be rude. I hope I'm not sounding rude at all, but I just came to look at the bike. I just wanted to see what it looks like and see if it was like my style. He goes, have you seen the front wheel? I go, what? He goes, I forgot to mention, the front wheel is a fucking 20-inch rim. And he turns the bike head, and it's a 20-inch rim. And I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool. And he goes, this is how we're going to do it. And he goes,
whoa.
And
he said it like it was like some crazy like unlockable video game. Like it was Mario Kart, and he's like, I got fucking Toad's head right here, bro. Like, okay, that's sick, man. You get that after playing for 800 hours. Do you know how long 800 hours is? Anyway, this is how we're gonna do it.
Yeah. So he tries to like, he's not very like pushy on the price or like me paying, but he does want me to buy the bike. He does want me to buy the bike. I guess he has to like pay someone else for the bike or something. I don't know. Also, I'm assuming. And I had to explain it again. I go, like I said, man, I just wanted to see the bike. I will keep you informed on if I want to pick it up or not. But for right now, I just wanted to see it, and that's all I wanted to do. I really appreciate meeting you, and I really appreciate you showing me the bike. It's a really fucking nice bike, and that rim is fucking crazy. But that's it for right now. I will hit you up when I say yes or no to the bike. And he goes, all right, man, let's go back to the trailer.
the way you did it, where you're,
that's what he did. That's exactly what he did.
That he's like, that you're like, I'm really just gonna think about it, and he just goes, okay, man, let's go back. And you're like, okay, let's go back. Yeah, man, come here. We're right to your car.
We get back into my car. We drive out of the store.
Can I drive? He's just gunning it and going like
trying to downshift my automatic car.
Putting it into park every time you get to like 50. And you're just like, oh my god.
So on the way back to his trailer, we're driving down like a pretty empty street. It's all residential. He goes, slow down a little bit. I go, what's up? He goes, there's a turn coming up right here. It's going to look like a dirt lot. Pull onto it. There's a liquor store right there. I need to buy some ice. I go, oh, okay. And he goes and gets off, and he's in the store for like 20 minutes. And I'm in the car with my air conditioner on with my friend going like, what's he doing in there? He goes, I don't know. I'm going to go check. And my friend gets off and goes inside. And the guy comes back out with 2 bags of ice on his shoulders and a bag full of 2-liter sodas. Like a regular grocery bag, but it has like 4 2-liter sodas in it, which is a ridiculous amount of 2-liter sodas. But anyways, he gets back in the car. I go, where's my friend at? He went in there to go see him. He goes, I don't know if he's arguing or just having a conversation with the cashier, but that he's talking to the cashier. I go,
he's talking to the cashier. He's exchanging some words and possibly fists with the cashier.
And then in a day full of weird things, my friend comes out of the store and he goes, and he has a pack of cookies and a quart of milk in his hands. And I go, what the fuck is going on? It's like 104 degrees in Riverside.
He has cookies and milk. His blood splatters. And then other homeboys just like, hell yeah.
Yeah, like at this point I was like, this is the weirdest day I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
So he gets in the car and he goes, I got the fucking beer and chips. I go, we're dropping this fool off and I'm going home.
We're dropping this fool off. You and your weird milk and cookies. Like, you guys, I've had it up to fucking here with you guys.
Yeah. So we get back to the
I
trailer.
got the beer and chips. Shut the fuck up. You don't have shit. You're going home, and I'm going home.
So we get back to the trailer park. I drop them off. I go, I'll hit you up, guys. I got to get out of here. I got to go do some other shit. I just wanted to go home. I just want to get out of there as quickly as possible. I didn't even leave the driver's seat. Like, I just went like, I'll see you guys later. I'll hit you guys up. They got out of the car, and I popped in reverse and got out of that place because I was done.
Oh, shit.
I was fucking done. I mean, he was cool people. Like I said, nice guy. It's just he was very intense.
Yeah.
Extremely intense.
Yeah, that's one of the things, like, with certain people like that, where you're like, you seem like a cool guy. I think, too, it's, like, kind of the circumstances of it, like, the context of being, like, trying to, like, buy something, and it's, like, in your head, you're like, I'm going to go see something. Like, anyone could relate to that, where you're like, if someone's like, I'm going to take you to see something to see if you want to buy it.
Right.
You go, meet the person, they're like, hi, this is it. Okay, look at it. Okay, I'll think about it. Cool. Leave.
Right.
That's the way it should be, ideally. So, yeah, when you go there and this dude's like, you want to hang out? And you're like, absolutely, I want to hang out. Of course I want to hang out.
Like, inside of the story, there's, like, I skipped a whole bunch of stuff, obviously. Because he's very passionate about motorcycles. He's the type of guy who buys a broke down, been sitting in the sun for 20 years motorcycle, and he gets that shit running day one, he has it. He's that type of fool. He's and cool, no fucking he does
shaves down time.
He has limited wrist strength or like wrist movement from falling down. So he put a trigger on his motorcycle to put the gas.
That's cool.
So like I don't know. Oh, I guess he doesn't have brakes, so the trigger's up here. Yeah, it's the gas pedals.
Yeah, so he's like, who cares, man?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's pretty. Now you see his genius. It's just. It's a little hard.
He could have kept the back brake on, but he didn't. He cut that shit too. He put just the lever for the gas pedal.
That's even cooler because you're like, he's like, no, like this it would cause an issue. You're like, you could have the other brakes. And he's like, I already got rid of the first one.
Yes.
Why have one of like two? You know what I mean?
Yeah, my friend was telling me he's been doing that shit for years too. Like ever since he like started working on bikes, he would cut the brakes off and just downshift the brake.
That's insane. Like
he goes,
I've never heard of that before.
I didn't either. He goes, I go through shoes like crazy. I go, why? He goes, I still got to put my feet down while I'm moving. Yeah.
It's like the fucking Flintstones.
I know.
Like imagine your friend you get into the car with your friend, and then he's just like he's always just like cruising.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's a pretty nice car, right? And then like he's like driving around the block, and then you're just like, look, what are you doing? And he just pops open the door. He's like, I just gotta stop the whip. And you're like, what do you mean? And he just gets out and just starts trying to like stop the car, and he's like rolling it.
He's like a 12-inch sole. He's like,
yeah. And you're like, what is going on?
I said that when he came out the fucking liquor store with cookies and milk. So
yeah, covered in blood.
Covered in blood. Yeah.
I was thinking about in my head right now, it kind of played out in sequence that because Riverside, like being in Riverside, always reminds me of, like you said, like GTA.
Yeah.
Like that desert area, and then just crazy people live.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
But then it made me think of Red Dead, and then that reminded me of something that I found out about recently, that Jack Black has his own gaming YouTube channel.
I didn't even know that.
And he's playing Red Dead.
He's in a video game.
He's in School of Rock.
I know that. He's in like what is it called? It's like a Brutal something.
Oh yeah, where he's like a little guitarist.
Yeah,
and kills a bunch of Brutal Legend. Is that what it is?
Something like that.
League of Legends.
Not League of Legends.
But yeah, he has a gaming, like he has a YouTube channel,
and he's playing Red Dead.
But the thing is, he has a YouTube channel. I didn't look through everything because I was like, it was one of those where I found it and watched some of it. I was like, I'm done watching the internet. It was one of those.
Oh my god!
Because it's nothing to do with like, it wasn't like that it was weird,
right?
Or like, like it was bad. It was that it was weird and like, what the fuck? Because I found I actually think I saw like, it was like, Jables plays Red Dead Redemption 2 or something, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I looked at the name, and it said Jack Black, and I clicked on it, and I think it was him. I think it was when he had just shaved, like he shaved everything. Yeah. So he's completely bald, and he's like talking about like, oh man, like it feels so crazy, like I don't have any hair or anything anymore, like I feel so naked, and then he's like, don't think I forgot, we're playing Red Dead Redemption 2, let's get to it. And then he has like face cam, and he's playing Red Dead, and he's like, whoa! And he's just like being Jack Black, like it's like he's playing himself it's like if they're like, we have a new role for you, you're gonna be you as a YouTuber, and he's like, I was born to do this.
Yeah, he says that about every role he plays.
Yeah, but it was just I didn't know what to make of it. Like, to see him play. Like I said, I watched some of it, and I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to make of this information. And I'm like, I have to tell someone. I kept forgetting about it. And then that just, like, played out in my head. Like, GTA, Red Dead, and then I was like,
Jack Black.
Jack Black. I never thought I would make those connections.
Think anybody could make those connections besides you?
Yeah, they were, it was just, like, it's weird seeing celebrities with, like, YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Because, like, I remember YouTube when YouTube first started, where it was literally people, like, this is my day.
Vlogs.
Or going for a walk.
Yeah.
No, not even talking. Just, like, recording, like, on their phone and, like, park. And it's, like, 30-second clip of just, like, a recording of, like... Because you could just put any video up.
Right.
Like, the first YouTube video was, like, someone, like, at a zoo or something. I think it's the people that made it. They made YouTube, uploaded a video of them, like, at a zoo, and they're like, and it's, like, 30 seconds, or, like, a minute long, and that's it. And now it's weird seeing, like, celebrities making YouTube channels, and you're like, bro, I just can't get the fuck away from you. Like, you guys are... like, it's hard enough for people to try to make videos, and then now they're like... It's like celebrities making OnlyFans. Have you seen that?
No.
It's a big thing.
Is it?
It's a big thing right now, because it's the same thing, in a way. It's just like people trying to make an OnlyFans in order to build their... like, I mean, trying to build themselves up as being, you know, whatever it is that they want to be perceived as. So, it's not easy. I mean, if you're really attractive, it's probably easier for you, but whatever. You make an OnlyFans, and you have to try to get a following. You have to get people to subscribe to you and pay for your stuff, and you have to be interesting and this and that. And it's hard for people to try to get that. But it's not hard for people who are already celebrities and have millions of dollars.
Right.
And then they make an OnlyFans, and then immediately they have like hundreds of thousands,
because why wouldn't
millions,
they?
Of subscribers or whatever they are, fans.
Patrons?
Yeah.
Patrons?
Like, so they immediately have a bunch, and then they could be like, oh, it's $25 for my OnlyFans. And people are like, fuck yeah, I'm going to get Jessica Alba's OnlyFans for $25. Like, and it's crazy because now they're already millionaires, like these crazy rich celebrities, and now they're just making millions of dollars like overnight.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of sour.
Yeah. And it's like, I want to see your old fucking used up ass pussy, Jessica Alba.
Is Jessica Alba the one that did it?
No, I forgot her name. Jessica Alba came to mind just because she's hot. And
fair enough, I guess.
I would pay for her. Just kidding. But it's I don't remember who it was. It was some girl, and then when she did it, it blew up overnight, obviously, and then everyone was pissed because they're like, "The fuck do you think you are, bitch? You already like you're just like taking shit from sex workers, and that sucks." And now Jack Black
making fucking
gaming
videos. Oh, does he have an OnlyFans too?
He might. He just might soon enough.
I don't want to see that one.
Anytime I smoke or if I drink, I always tell you, like, I want to get Burger King. And then recently, I just thought that too. I was like, I just thought about that recently where I wanted to get Burger King. And I was sober. And then I remembered right now, I was like, I was not sober.
You were sober. It was in the morning, and you were telling that to your dad.
Oh, yeah, but that was the morning after I smoked.
Oh.
I just had it implanted in my mind. So it feels unfair to say that.
Yeah, fair enough. It was pretty late in the morning that you still got stoned, I guess.
Yeah. Because I've kind of had to come to terms with that. But the fact that Burger King is just never what I think about while I'm sober. Although, if they bring back the Whopperito, which I never tried because you guys never let me try it.
No, it's fucking the worst.
I just wanted to try it. That was the only
What
time...
was the other thing you wanted to try from there?
The Black Whopper.
That's the Darth Whopper?
No, what?
I thought it was called that. I thought it was for a Star Wars thing.
No, it was Halloween.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, did they bring it back for Star Wars?
No, why do you in your head? I think you just have it.
Because I know they did a Halloween. I could have sworn they did a Darth Whopper too, though.
Fact check that. If the Darth Whopper existed, put it up on screen.
I hope I did it.
We're gonna see. But I don't remember ever seeing that. I remember just.
But you saw the Black Whopper.
Spooky Whopper, yeah. And I wanted to try that too because, like you said, it turned your poop green.
Turn your poop crayon green, like bright green.
I don't know why you said crayon green.
That's the most intense green I could think of.
Like a crayon?
Yeah, like if you got a green crayon, you're like, that's fucking green.
The Whopperito. Oh, you know what else is really good? The Mac and Cheetos.
I'll give you that one. Mac and Cheetos was really good from there. You know what wasn't good, but was really the biggest bang for you buck you can get? Those 80 cents for 10 chicken nuggets.
I think they still have
Do
them.
they really?
Yeah. They have, like, I think that's like a normal thing. Dude, McDonald's spicy nuggets right now.
I've tried the spicy nuggets and I agree with you. They're really good.
Fueguísimo,
But
bro.
I haven't tried their spicy, what is it, mac sauce?
No,
What is
it's
it?
the Mighty Sauce.
Mighty sauce, yeah. Is it Mighty sauce? Is that what it's called?
Mighty Spicy Sauce or
I
something
don't
like that.
remember.
It's like their hot dipping sauce. Fuego, bro. It's
Was there a burger called the Mighty Burger?
the Mighty Duck.
Well-
it was duck. A duck
Shut the
patty.
fuck up.
For a second, you're like, shut the
When
fuck up.
was this? How old were we when this happened?
This was only in Korea.
Oh, when were you in Korea?
You remember last year?
You tripped to Korea when you went whitewater rafting?
Yeah. I went from I went down the stream from Northern Korea to South Korea.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to try the Whopperito. That was the only time I've ever seen you guys, like, genuinely be like, you're not allowed to try this. And I'm like, very funny. Can you guys get me one? And you're like, no, we're not going to get... We'll get you anything else. We're not going to get you. And anytime we would drive... That was way before I had my license.
Yeah.
So I'd always be with you guys.
Yeah.
And then we'd be passing somewhere. I'm like, look, there's a Burger King. Can you stop so I can get something? And you're like, well, you're not going to fool us. We already know you want a Whopperito. We're not stopping. And I never got one.
It's going to be a nostalgia thing in a couple years where they're going to be like, we brought back the Whopperito.
We brought back the Whopperito. So Mac and Cheetos are really good. Those were fucking... I think they sell those at, like, Walmart. I think they're frozen.
Really?
Something like... maybe not now, but I think for a while... Because they sold the...
I feel like we could make those just ourselves.
Yeah, the mac and Cheetos.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I bit into it, and I was like, oh, it's like molten mac and cheese in the middle, and then just fried around.
Yeah, it's
like
just...
hot Cheetos.
It's like baked mac and cheese formed into a hot Cheeto shape.
Yeah.
And then dipped into hot Cheeto dust and deep fried.
Say less. Mac and Cheetos were good. I think because the thing is, too, they also had the Doritos thing.
That was 7-Eleven.
No, not Burger King. I know. But I'm saying they sold them frozen.
Oh,
and then
okay.
You could be that sounds so gross to me to microwave those, because they shouldn't be microwaved. But they'd sell those. I'm pretty sure they sold... I might be wrong. That they sold the mac and Cheetos frozen. Or, yeah, mac and Cheetos
Yeah, at Walmart
frozen.
too?
Yeah, or somewhere. They sold them frozen and boxed. But those were super good. The Burger King's, like, they had spicy nuggets too, and they were better than the regular nuggets, but the regular nuggets were basically cardboard. But they're also 80 cents for 10 of them.
Like, with all this, like, bringing, like, spicy chicken into, like, things, Jack in the Box introduced... I guess they reintroduced. I didn't know... I've never seen them before. But they introduced spicy chicken tender meals. And I've tried them twice. They're not bad. They're not great, obviously, because they gave me a stomachache the first time. But...
So, like, 50% of the time so
yeah,
far...
it's like flipping a coin. But anyways, so I got them the first time, and I opened them up, and they were red chicken strips. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, okay. And I started dipping them. I ate them. I ate them. And I finished the meal, and like a week went by, and I was like, I want to try those chicken tenders again. I think that'd be pretty good as like a small meal. Mm-hmm. And I went to a Jack in the Box on the way home, And I stopped, and they weren't red chicken tenders. They were brown chicken, like regular chicken tenders, but spicy. And I was like, what happened? Because I didn't look at any advertisements for them. It's just like I saw them, and I wanted to try them. That was it. So when I got them the first time, and they were red chicken tenders, that seemed normal to me. When I went to get them after I got off of work the other day, I got them, and I opened them up, and they weren't red. And I pulled around to the front, and I saw to like leave, and I saw that on their window they had the picture like we brought back the spicy chicken tenders, and they were brown. What the fuck did I eat the first time? Honestly,
I don't know. Jesus Christ, I don't know, man. I thought
I'm really bothered by that.
I thought that was a joke. You're like, what are you laughing about? I'm opening it up to you. I don't know, man.
Like, it bothers the hell out of me.
To this day, we should go to Jack in the Box right now.
It's gonna be the brown ones. They're not gonna
ask them like, look, cut the bullshit. Where's the red nugget? And they're like,
we don't have nuggets. They're tenders. The nuggets.
Where's the red tenders? And they like mute you. They're like, what do we do? He knows. They're like, the girl gets like a little pistol, and she's like, pull around to the next window. And she's like, I imagine the manager's like, you have to do it. This is your initiation. You want to get promoted, right? And he gives her the pistol. He can't live. He can't know about the red tenders. And then she's like, I don't know if I can do it. And then you pull forward, and she's like, and he's like, do it. And she goes, it turns around, and you have a pistol already, and you fucking shoot her in the head. And he's like, fuck!
He gets the gun and shoots himself in the head.
You're never gonna find out.
Jesus Christ.
You son of a bitch! What did I eat? And it's like zooming out, and there's just like a little kid waiting for. He's like
does the kid at the register, like inside of the Jack in the Box, trying to buy a chocolate milkshake?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know what the hell I ate. It was very unnerving to come to that conclusion that those chicken nuggets I had or chicken tenders, I guess, I had the first time were different. I don't know why, and I don't know what they were. I'm sure they were just chicken nuggets. I just don't know, or chicken tenders. I just don't know why they were red.
Yeah. I hope that's exactly what happens next time you go to Jack in the Box.
Oh my God.
She's like 17. Like, I imagine her looking like the girl from the babysitter from The Incredibles.
The
like
braces and
everything. She's like, I can't. She turns like shaking with the pistol and just gets fucking.
Yes. Oh my god, it's fucked up, man.
Well, we can go to Jack in the Box. I need a. Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
Wait. Anyway, I gotta go empty my bag. I guess maybe we can go to Jack in the Box after.
We'll go to Whopper.
Okay.